All right, Shalom. First off, we want to start by giving all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to our apostle and elders of Great Millstone. Honors and salutations to you brothers that's preaching his word in sincerity and faith. And Shalom to you sincere listeners and believers thereof. All right, so as you can see on the screen, this fresh on the press. All right, just came out pretty much. Which they already talked about doing, but it's pretty official, as you can see. The IMF treaty deal that was made between the U.S. and Russia, it's null and void now, which leaves room for free range in nuclear missile preparation, all right, World War III, pretty much, prophecy. So this is off of SputnikNews.com. It says live updates. Russia announces INF treaty officially dead as U.S. exits agreement. The Trump administration has decided to fully abandon the Intermediate Range Nuclear Forces Treaty, thus bringing an end to over 3 decades of strategic stability, despite consistent calls from Russia to preserve the accord. The 1987 Intermediate Range Nuclear Forces Treaty, INF, which prohibited the deployment of ground-based nuclear weapons with a range of 500 to 5,500 kilometers, was terminated starting the 2nd of August at the initiative of the United States. The Russian Foreign Ministry said in a statement on Friday. All right, it says. On the 2nd of August 2019, the treaty between the Union of Soviet Socialist Republics and the United States of America on the elimination of medium and short-range missiles, signed in Washington on the 8th of December 1987, was terminated at the initiative of the American side, the statement says. Pompeo, this is in bold letters. I guess it's going into different segments of this whole ordeal. It says Pompeo accuses Russia of being responsible for the INF collapse. U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo has confirmed the U.S. withdrawal from the INF treaty and claimed that Russia bears sole responsibility for the collapse of the 1987 accord. Reuters earlier cited several unnamed senior officials in the Trump administration as saying that the initial tests of planned conventional U.S. intermediate range missile will be conducted in the coming months. So they're already getting to it, no time to be wasted. The sources later claimed that Moscow had deployed multiple battalions of a Russian cruise missile throughout the country in violation of the pact, including in western Russia, with the ability to strike critical European targets. Russian Deputy Foreign Minister Sergei Ryabkov earlier called on the United States to implement a moratorium on deploying intermediate range nuclear missiles now that the deal is dead. We have suggested to the U.S. and other NATO members to consider announcing a moratorium on the deployment of intermediate range missiles. This moratorium would be comparable to one already announced by Vladimir Putin, saying that if the United States does not deploy this equipment in certain regions, then Russia will also refrain from doing so, he said. So it's a tit for tat thing, Last month, Russian President Vladimir Putin signed a decree suspending Moscow's participation in the accord in a mirror response to Washington's move. It says Washington moves to withdraw unilaterally. Moscow hits back. In October 2018, U.S. President Donald Trump announced his intention to tear up the treaty, having accused Russia of violating the accord, and said that the U.S. would start developing weapons banned under the agreement. At the time, Putin warned that the repercussions of the U.S. decision were unpredictable and could result in a global disaster due to an increasing trend of lowering the threshold for the use of nuclear weapons. The U.S. administration then stated last December that it would suspend its adherence to the accord unless Russia returned to fully complying with the treaty within 60 days. 2 months later, Washington announced its withdrawal from the pact in February, accusing Moscow of developing the 9M729 missile that allegedly violates the terms of the international agreement. Yeah, so the U.S., man, their whole game is pointing fingers, all right, making up false narratives in order for them to justify themselves in doing the things that they're doing, pretty much being the devil. Russia has repeatedly denied the allegations that the missile violates the accord, pointing out that the American missile defense systems deployed in Europe can be repurposed for offensive capabilities and therefore are themselves in violation of the treaty. In a symmetric response, Putin announced that Moscow was also suspending the pact and instructed his ministers to refrain from initiating talks with Washington on the matter and emphasized that the U.S. needed to show readiness for an equal and constructive dialogue. It says U.S. calls for new treaty. Trump, who has developed a reputation for scrapping deals and alliances, he sure has, all right, has repeatedly said he wanted to negotiate a new treaty to replace the old one, even with a greater number of participants such as China. Russia would like to do something on a nuclear treaty, and that's okay with me. They would like to do something, and so would I, Trump told reporters Thursday. The Russian president is not by far the only person to believe that the treaty's collapse would lower the threshold for the use of nuclear weapons. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres condemned the escalation, urging both parties to refrain from dangerous moves. Yeah, because everybody knows the result of a thermonuclear war, man. It's gonna be it's deadly and it's lethal, and how do you say, it's unavoidable,
And it's mutually assured destruction. Like
Yes.
that term they always like to use, mad. That's why they're trying to avoid it as much as possible, because once you fire off the first missile, there's no going back. Everybody's shooting their missiles off pretty much.
Yeah, that's the last paragraph right here. It says the deal signed in 1987 by U.S. President Ronald Reagan, and that guy's under fire, huh? They just put a leak out on him. All right, talking about Jake, so-called Negroes, Judah. All right, the tribe of Judah, chiefly calling them what, monkeys, saying they're still not used to wearing shoes. All right, hey, the Most High is exposing you devils, man, and it's a beautiful thing, because we know what you made of. All right, you made of pure wickedness and hatred towards the nation of Israel, and ultimately towards Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, towards the earth, towards everything living, really. All right, and only people that don't know the scoop is really 2/3. All right, so that's a beautiful for you devils to continue to be exposed for who you really are. It says the deal signed in 1987 by U.S. President Ronald Reagan and Soviet Union General Secretary Mikhail Gorbachev, I believe, marked the first time the two superpowers, the Soviet Union and the U.S., voluntarily agreed to reduce their nuclear arsenals, destroying all nuclear-armed ground-launched ballistic and cruise missiles with ranges between 500 and 5,500 kilometers, about 300 to 3,400 miles, as well as allowing on-site inspections for verification. Yeah, so all that's done away with, man. All right. If you had a precept.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
It's Revelation 11:14.
You got it, sir.
It says the second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. And you can see that from everything that's going on, that the third woe is coming quickly. All right, and like the apostles mention all the time, often, as far as World War III isn't going to happen before the chip be mandated.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the same thing that's happening now. You're starting to see the chip being pushed more, so you're seeing World War III approaching very quickly.
Yep.
All right, all the prophecies are starting to come to pass. So what? World War III is a major one that's going to be approaching as well as these prophecies come to pass.
That's right. Yep, that's beautiful. Matter of fact, I'll bring it here, cause cause really they go back and forth. They say this and that. Trump's a wild card. That goes without saying.
Mm-hmm.
But ultimately, what they're being controlled by the heavenly Father. They're being instructed on what to do. Let me grab that in Job. All right, and like it says in Proverbs, not quoting it verbatim, but pretty much, the Lord controls the kings.
Right.
All right. So the Lord, just like you playing chess, man, you got the king and the queen, you got the pawns and all the pieces. The Lord is the ultimate chess master, and he's putting the pieces into place. All right. Gearing them up for World War III. This is Job 33:15. In a dream, in a vision of the night, when deep sleep falleth upon men and slumberings upon the bed, then he openeth the ears of men and sealeth their instruction, that he may withdraw men from his purpose and hide pride from men.
Yeah, so their instructions is being instilled in them.
Yep.
Exactly what to do. That's why they're doing everything that they're doing is according to the prophecies, because their instructions are being instilled in them.
Mm-hmm.
It may appear as they're like acting on their own accord or whatever, yet it's not. It's not that. Everything they're doing is all the will of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai.
That's right.
It's just on the left hand side, because we're on the right hand side.
Mm-hmm.
And everything that Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai wants them to do, they're doing it.
That's right. Yeah.
I had that other precept you was quoting.
Come.
Proverbs.
Oh, that's the spirit. It's the spirit. Yeah. Is it 21:16?
21:1.
Okay, so yeah, that's it.
The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord.
Beautiful.
As the rivers of water, he turneth it whithersoever he will.
Mm.
So that's just backing up exactly what's written in Job.
Okay.
All right, everything, the king's heart, basically the ruler. All right, and who's the ruler right now in America? Trump. For Russia's Putin. Whoever the head higher up dude is for every nation, that's the king for that nation. All right, or that country. And their heart, meaning their mind, is in the hand of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. All right, and it says he turneth it whithersoever he will. So
that's right.
Everything that they're doing is really all according to the will of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. All right, and it's all to do what? To make prophecies come to pass, man. To do His will ultimately, because it's not about them. It may come off like they're doing what they want to do, yet ultimately it's the will of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai that's going on.
Oh yeah, that's what it was.
So that's why you see everything playing out the way it is. That's why everything that we're saying is coming to pass, because it's all the will of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai.
Yeah.
And just like He controls them, all right, we're bringing out everything that He's going to have them doing.
Yeah, it's all prophecy. That's what this devil, that's what these bug outs, they don't understand. You can't avoid, you can't disrupt, you can't stop prophecy, man. Let me go here. This is Ezekiel, the book of Ezekiel, chapter 38. I'm gonna start at the top. It says, the word of the Lord Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai came upon me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog in the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and prophesy against him.
Mm-hmm.
And who inhabits that land today? All right, the Russians. All right, and it says, and say, thus saith the Lord power, behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal. The Lord is against all these kings, and that's why He's going to cause them to come against each other, and then what? To come against His Son Yahweh Shai and the angels when they return, ultimately, so that what? They can be destroyed. It says, verse 4, and I will turn thee back. See? Brother just brought out in Proverbs 21:1. The Lord pondereth the hearts of men and turneth however He wants. All right. So the Lord is turning these the Russians back. All right. And I will turn them back and put jaws into Salakia, and I will turn them back and put hooks into their jaws, all right, and turn them back to what? To what we were just reading about. How did that treaty get formed? All right, when the tension was high. All right, so back during the Soviet Union days, man. So the Lord is putting Russia back in that Soviet Union spirit, man. Okay, gearing them up for war, and their chief enemy is America, the U.S. You know. And I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth, and all thy army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords.
And you see that going on now, as far as the hooks being in his mouth. You know, speaking on Russia, they're trying to they was trying to keep things peaceful. And now what's happening? They're being forced in a battle, basically.
Yep.
Coming up against America. All right, because what always happens right after they try to be peaceful, America does something else, and they're forced to come up against America because America would have come against an allied nation or something.
Yep. America does the same thing with every nation, like it says in here. Trump has broken many treaties.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he does the same thing with all these people, and they're seeing that.
Yep. And then that's just like America, all right? He's a hypocrite, just like it says in Job. The joy of the hypocrite, but for a moment.
Okay.
All right, here it is. He's pointing out everybody else about breaking the treaty and all, but you're the main one who's over here putting hell on all the nations and being all up in their business.
Yep.
Causing false flags and everything, all hell to break loose in the other countries. But then you want to talk about them breaking treaties when really it's just stuff that you're making up.
Yeah.
Right? And all these nations, they know that. You've been getting exposed like for the longest by these other nations when they have their meetings. That situation that happened with the tankers out there in Iran, when you said that they did it, you got exposed for lying about that. And all these other nations, they agreed that you was lying. You didn't have no type of proof whatsoever. So everybody knows you're just a straight up liar, a hypocrite.
Yep.
All right? That's why nobody's listening to you anymore. You tell them to not do trades with these other countries or whatever. They're not listening to you.
Yeah.
Nobody's listening to America because they see the hypocrisy of America, man. It's at an all-time high.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's been at an all-time high, but now it's being brought to light that all these other nations are seeing it.
That's right.
You're being exposed, like the scriptures go into. You're naked. All right, everybody sees your shame.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you see somebody's shame, why would you want to deal with that person?
Exactly. It says, verse 5, and if I could say this too, you know, the modern day sword is what? Those missiles, because it says, all of them handling swords. Mm-hmm. Well, let me bring this out real fast, and I'm gonna hop back there to back that up.
You see, Russia, he's helping these nations get a better sword, helping them with their military,
helping them with their missile defenses.
Yeah,
everything, helping them get ready.
Yeah, because they know that this battle is going to happen.
Yep.
That's why all that's going on, and it says that in the scriptures how he would be a defense.
Yeah, and treaties need to be broke in order for this war to happen, because this war is going to happen regardless.
Mm-hmm.
So they agreed on not building up nuclear capability. Then how the nuclear war is going to happen?
Yep.
It has to be broken. So and alliances has to be broken, and alliances have to be made in order for this war to come into play, man.
Mm-hmm.
This is Isaiah 9:5. For every battle of the warrior is with confused noise and garments rolled in blood. That's talking about the ancient wars. You know, like we were just reading about in Ezekiel the 38th chapter, which I'm gonna go back to, how the Lord is turning Russia back. All right, you know, and it talks about bucklers and shields and the sword. You know, and that's what was happening in the ancient wars. You had the bucklers, you had your shield. You know, you had your sword, you had your armor, all right? But this shall be with burning and fuel fire. That's right. So this one is going to be what? A war fought via nuclear missiles, okay? ICBM missiles to be exact, all right? That's the modern day sword, man, okay? And that's what that treaty was about, you know, about halting that, you know, putting a stop to that. In which it's been broken.
Mm-hmm.
So guess what? They're gonna start where they left off on their build up. This is back. You was about to say something. This is back in Ezekiel 38. I read verse 4 one more time. And I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth in all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords. You know, and you go into the book of Joel, the second chapter. The Lord refers into the missiles as an army. Those the Lord's army, actually. You know, verse 5: Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya with them, and all of them with shield and helmet.
Yep, they all basically prepare for battle,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what you see going on. All these countries, all these nations are getting prepared for war.
Oh, just like you're speaking about with Trump breaking all the treaties. What other treaty did he break? The one with the Iranians, the Persians, all right, in which they're already pressing the EU to meet their requests, or else they're going to keep increasing their uranium enrichment.
Mm-hmm.
Hey man, this is all about war, man. You know.
Yep. And that's going to lead up to what? To them rats, so-called Jews, attacking and just starting it off.
Yeah,
like the scriptures say.
Yep, the least of the flock shall draw them out.
That's how it's going to happen. Because who be the main one pressing to attack Iran for their nuclear enrichment is them rats.
Yeah, they always bitching about something.
They saying that if you don't do something about this, we're gonna take initiative and attack first.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you know that's who they're talking about in the scriptures. You know that's who it is talking about in the scriptures.
That's right.
Because no other nation has said some shit like that. Well, other nations make threats, but it's for different reasons. But this is just for some made up stuff. You know, because the other nations, they don't even agree with it. You just going out of you just going out the way to, so to speak, to cause mischief, and that's exactly the spirit of Esau.
Mm-hmm. Yep, it says Gomar and all his bands, the house of Togarmah of the north quarters, and all his bands, and many people with thee. Be thou prepared, and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee,
Mm-hmm.
and be thou a guard unto them.
And that's exactly what Russia is, a guard unto these other nations. You
Mm-hmm.
know. Because what always happens whenever America is getting into some heated shit with China or Iran, all right,
Syria
out there in the Middle East,
and Russia just they just said that they're urging the U.S. to get out of Syria because they're still in Syria illegally, all right, causing mischief, man.
Yep.
So Russia is a superpower, all right, and what they're using their power to back up these other nations in which they have ties with, all right, they have interest with, they have money with, okay, you know, just hey, and the U.S. is what the big bully that's about to get knocked down, man. All right. Matter of fact, it just talked about being prepared and being a guard. Let's go here, Joel the 3rd chapter.
Yep.
Straight to it.
That's exactly what you see going on. All these nations getting prepared for battle.
Uh-huh.
And Russia guarding them. Whenever Esau's trying to come at them, because ain't nobody else really messing with them but Esau.
That's the only person.
Whenever Esau try to mess with him, he just step in the middle and be like, nah, you gotta fall back.
Yep.
You know, unless you're ready to go to war right now, basically.
Good. Yeah, that's right, man. Yeah. Esau is pretty much, the U.S. is like that bully that just goes around picking on people because, you know, he's just a bitch inside, you know, so he tries to usurp, you know, try to, you know what I mean, get his shit off by picking on other people to make himself feel better, and just calling shots. And then Russia, man, they got pulled, so they see that and they sticking up for all the little guys, so to speak. Like, nah, man, we ain't having that no more. No, you're not about to be bullying people and just doing what you want to do anymore, man. That's out the window. This is Joel 3:9. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, the heathen nations. Prepare war. Wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near.
Yeah,
Let them come up.
You see that going on.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're preparing for war. They're not mainly focused on advancing their economy or agriculture, this and that. The main things they're worried about as far as advancing their technology is all for war mainly. All right, for their military, getting better missiles. All right, things that help them better prepare for the war.
Yeah.
That's what you see all these nations doing, all these countries doing. All right, and Russia's helping them because it's a garden to them.
Yep.
You actually see that Russia making deals with certain nations, saying, giving them actually military weapons and giving them they stuff.
Yeah. What they already started shipping to Turkey, which is an ally of the U.S. and I believe they're a part of NATO. All right. I believe they're doing it with India too, which is another ally of the U.S. So they're already they're helping out their allies because all your allies are going to turn on you, man. They're already turning on you because you bugging out. You bugging. You doing
just
too
like
much.
The scripture said in Obadiah, they that were at peace with thee have deceived
you.
Okay. So they was just being cool with you until it was time to come up against you.
Yeah, they couldn't. What's that word? Like you got a homie, but he be bugging all the time. Like yo, it get to a point where you can't even back. You like yo, I ain't claiming you type of shit. I ain't about to stand with you on this, man. You tripping. You know, you always got to get in wars. You know, you got that one wild. I know you came across that person before, or you seen that person or heard of them. You know, you kicking with a person, whatever, and they always wild. And then you got to step in from like, no, starting fights and shit. And just, you know, it's a wild ass, a wild card, man. Like, no, you know, it's the homie, man. He just tripping. He wilding right now. You know, I'll stall him out, leave him alone. Hey, man, chill, bro. And you get to a point like, man, fuck it, man. Let him get his ass beat. I ain't with you, man. You a bug out, you know. I got into all this shit because of you. You know, that's what the allied nations of the U.S., that's where they're coming to, man. Like, yo, I'm in this mess because of your ass. Fuck you, you know. It says, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Prepare war. Wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up.
Yep, and that's what you see going on. Like I was saying, everybody getting ready for war and they're coming together. All right, mainly gathering together in the Middle East. Because that's where that great battle is going to take place.
Yep, that's right. That's right. It says, beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say I'm strong.
Yep, and that's what you see now. All these countries at one point that were weak couldn't come up against America or say nothing back. Now they're strong. They have the same capability as America. They got nuclear weapons and they have allies. So they're not alone anymore. They're able to. They're not weak anymore. They're strong.
Yep. And if I could add this too, we just read. I just wanted to clarify it. We just read in Ezekiel the 38th chapter. It mentioned what Togarmah and Gomer, which in today's time that's who? That's Turkey. You know, in which we just talked about. Turkey is an ally of U.S. and I believe a part of NATO. Okay, and they're turning hard as ever to Russia, and the U.S. don't want to give them the F-35s or whatever that shit is called, because they're doing deal with Russia, and they're even talking about doing more. They have plans of doing more deals with Russia, man. So guess what? They're already traded sides. All right, and that's according to the prophecy, like we just read in Ezekiel the 38th chapter, man. All your allies is going to turn their back on you, man, and shoot their missiles upon you. It says, verse 11, assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai.
Yep, and that's what you see going on. Everybody being gathered together, coming down into that area. That's the main place. That's the main area that the battle's going to go down at, man.
That's right.
All right. And then what's going to lead up to is just that ultimately the nuclear missiles being shot off.
Yep.
All right, because there's no need, like the scripture said in Isaiah that you brought out, there's no need for people to do foot soldiers, basically.
Yeah.
Because really, they don't have to do that. They got
press of a button.
Like, they don't have to do that because they can just press a button. They got drones.
ICBM missile, it can, which is going to do that, and it's in the scriptures. In 1 hour, this place is going to be burnt up. Hey, I believe Russia can, the intercontinental missiles, man, take 30 minutes to hit here. It's done.
Yeah.
Less than an hour. Okay. You know, so why would you need foot soldiers or people to do anything other than press the button? You know? All right. And the Lord's Spirit is going to be in those missiles, man. All right. He's gonna have the angels guiding those missiles, man.
Just like in Sodom and Gomorrah, it's made with those same chemicals,
Yeah,
basically.
yeah.
Those
Same
same
elements.
compounds,
Yep.
the elements.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be raining. That's how it's going to rain brimstone and fire again from those nuclear missiles.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, the Lord just gave you Edomites the knowledge on how to form this.
Yeah, how to put the elements together.
Exactly.
To create it.
Because he already had the knowledge. He did it back then. That's how low of a level you are. The Lord gave you some old shit, man. All right. You know, he been did that.
The Lord just made it fall out of the sky. You got to actually go in a lab and create it, and it took you a while to make it.
Mm-hmm.
The Lord just did it.
Yeah, that's right. And then gave the knowledge on how to do it to you in these last days, so that you can destroy yourself with it. That's your blessing, though. The sword.
Mm-hmm.
You know. Verse 12, let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Yahweh Shaphat, for there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. Put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come, get you down, for the press is full. The fats overflow, for their wickedness is great.
Yep.
Jake always brings out 2 Ezra, the 15th chapter, you know, how wickedness have exceedingly polluted the earth.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's only going to get worse, like the brother said, you know, like the apostles stress, you know, and it's all scriptural. All right. The RFID microchip has to be instituted, has to be mandated. All right. The time of Jacob's trouble has to come to pass. All right. In order for these missiles to be shot off, man. All right. Because this is going to be the judgment of Babylon. And the judgment of 2/3 of Israel that receives the mark of the beast, which is indeed the RFID microchip. You know, you receive that implant, and man, you're gonna receive missiles, man. All right, and it's coming third World War. Verse 14, multitudes in the valley of decision, for the day of the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai is near in the valley of decision.
Yep, and that day is near. And we see it, like the article we brought out, showing that the day is just getting closer and closer. Yet, like we were saying, the RFID microchip, the mark of the beast, has to be pressed along with all the other prophecies happening before World War III, because that's the end-all, be-all when the missiles are shot off.
Yep.
So all these other things need to take place. But you see that it's just getting closer and closer to going down.
Mm-hmm.
That's why brothers and the apostles be saying, like, more than likely these things going to just happen rapidly, you know, back to back. Because World War III can just pop off any minute, yet other prophecies have to happen.
Yep, that's right. Things have to pop off here, what do you call it? Internally, so to speak, you know, a collapse, civil unrest, race riots. All right, the RFID microchip being mandated, the time of Jacob's trouble, I already said martial law, concentration camps,
pestilences.
The pestilences. All right, you know, cannibalism, all these things. The hell has to hit here, man, before the climax of the hell, which is going to be those missiles and Yahweh Shai and the angels returning as well to come into play, man. You know, so this is all a build up to what we're reading about, man. Prophecy, the scriptures, World War III, the end of Esau's world, man. Okay, you know. So yeah, did you have anything else? Well, yeah. Lord's will, you know, this lesson was edifying to you, brothers. Hey, man, more is just gonna happen at a rapid rate.
Yep.
You know.
The days are already being sped up,
yes.
So the prophecies are being sped up as well.
That's right.
So that's all it is. You know, things are that's why things are happening so quick now. Just like the days are being sped up for the elect's sake.
That's right.
The Lord is making the prophecy speed up for the elect's sake.
That's right,
so that we can hurry up and be delivered out of here.
Yeah.
This wickedness is only going to continue to get worse here, and its hurtful works are already fulfilled, man. It can only get worse. That's why everything has to be sped up.
Yep, that's right, man. You know. Hey, so with that, Lord's will, this lesson was edifying to the body. We're going to close out once again, giving all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakak Wadash. You know, until the next time, we're going to say Shalom to the elect. Shalom.
Shalom.